Karen from Countyfairgrounds USA, countyfairgrounds.net. Welcome to today's podcast.
Good afternoon. This is Harry.
Hi, Harry.
Hello. How are you?
Okay, so you're of Brass Ring Amusements. The first thing I'm going to ask you about is to tell me a little bit about, you encompass a couple of companies? Or it's just Brass Ring? Okay, well, go ahead and explain.
So Brass Ring Amusements, Inc. is the parent corporation, and we have some subsidiaries. One of them is Midway of Fun, Carnival, which operates primarily California, a little bit of Southern Oregon and Western Nevada. And then we own and operate Silver State Amusements, which operates in Eastern Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and Washington. And then we also operate Front Street Attractions in Old Town Sacramento, where we have a gondola, Ferris wheel, and a carousel.
So was this originally your company?
It's kind of a hybrid. Brass Ring Amusements, Inc. I started myself, and we started quite small, and we acquired Midway of Fun, Inc. back, about 22, 23 years ago. And then Silver State Amusements was an outgrowth of that back in 2020.
Okay, you know what really interests me all the time I talk to you people is, have you ever done anything else, first off?
Define done anything else.
Have you always been a carny guy?
Yes, no, yes. I ran away from home when I was 15 and went to work for the carnival.
Oh, okay, now I get it.
So I've been in the business 47 years, but I've had, stints where I didn't. I mean, I slung cocktails for 4 years while I was in college, so that was not carnival related for sure. And so.
Did you always want to have your own carnival to run?
Yeah, funny story. If you got time to hear it, it's boring, but I'm old, so I get to tell them. So when we moved to California back in 1967, the family moved from the East Coast. And we went to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And they have one of those little ring things on the carousel where you grab the rings when you go around and you try and huck it in the clown's mouth to light its eyes up, unless you get the brass one. And if you get the brass one, you can trade it in for a free ride, right? And everybody's heard the expression of the brass ring. I kept mine. I never turned it back in for the free ride. And I said, boy, someday I'd like to own something like the boardwalk. Well, that's about as close as I'm ever going to get.
Well, obviously you got a lot closer than that.
We're pretty close, but I mean, we're not on the beach in California, but, I can still drive there.
Yeah. Okay. So how did it happen that you first got that first carnival then?
Well, started small. When I started in the industry, I think what was I doing? I was loading cars on a ride. I wasn't old enough to operate one, so I think I started out making about $7 a day. That was a long time ago. And you work your way up. I became a third man and a second man, and then a ride foreman, and then a ride manager where you handled a group of rides, and then moved into other facets of the industry, food, game concessions, and you work your way through the industry and up the ladder as you go. And I've only worked for 3 carnivals in my whole life, pretty much. The one I spent the most time with was Amusements of America, and that was probably 40 years ago. And I worked for them about 10 or 12 years, but you were only going to go so far because you weren't family. And then I tried out a large operation called Murphy Brothers for about 2 years, and it did not suit me well. It was a really big organization. There's a lot of politics and stuff like that, and I wasn't interested. So I said, well, I think I should probably get myself in a situation to buy something because that's what I want to do. And so I came to work for Midway of Fun, and I worked there about 10 years, and then I bought it.
So you must have stashed a lot of money.
Well, you work hard, you save your down payment, and you go to the bank and borrow the money.
Oh, okay.
Like any business, you got to have some savings, you got to have some time on the job. The bank's going to look at all of that, viability, and, like any job, or anytime you start a business, got to have a good credit score and all that shit.
One of the things I've always noticed about carnivals and carnies for some reason is like there's some kind of politics and stuff that goes on in the industry. So
It's so funny because outsiders, for some inexplicable reason, think we're all related. You know? No, I don't know why, and like we're not, and we don't really even like each other. You think of all the facets of the fair industry, entertainment and all like that. We are hyper competitive. It's pretty cutthroat.
Okay, so you got a family?
I do.
You got kids?
4 kids, all grown, 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
And enjoying life. Well, I'm old now, so I would have all of those things in life.
Okay, here's a question I have for you. Any of these kids work at the carnival?
None of them.
None? How did you manage that?
I discouraged them. This is my passion. They went to school and pursued their own passions. This was my passion. This is what I wanted to do. And it's hard work. And, some years are really good and some not so good. And, to struggle through it or whatever. And I wanted my kids, like any father, you want your kids to have a better life.
Yeah. Well, I interview a lot of entertainers and a lot of people, and a lot of these entertainers tell me, a lot of their kids do follow them. So a lot of them don't, though. It's always interesting to hear the story.
No, I've done everything I could to possibly discourage my kids from getting involved. No, just like, in the summertime, it is not, even now, I'm in my 60s, and it is not uncommon to work a 100-hour week. I'm the owner. I have to be there. The buck stops with me. Whatever the situation is, I need to handle it. I need to be there. And it takes a level of commitment, and it was my dream to do this.
So you still love it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If I didn't love it, I would have retired a long time ago.
So what does your wife think about this?
It depends on the day. She likes the business.
I heard you hesitate. Okay, how many rides do you have?
57.
So what's the best rides?
Oh, Ferris wheels and carousels. That's subjective. Like, you talk to, depends on the age group, the demographic. Somebody will say the Zipper. No, it's the Typhoon, or it's the Orbiter, or the OMG. But I look at the balance sheet, and the Ferris wheels and the carousels are the best rides. They have the broadest base of appeal, so more people ride them.
Mm-hmm. So how did you manage with the COVID crisis?
We were closed for 12 and a half months.
Yeah.
And it was, you know what, I don't know you well enough to articulate it the way I would normally say it. It was alarming that I could arbitrarily have my business shut by people that are not smarter than me.
Yeah, well.
Not every state handled it the same, right? We survived it. We survived it, and an outgrowth of the pandemic was Silver State Amusements. We went out and borrowed a bunch of money and bought a bunch of equipment and went to another state that was open, because I operate mostly in California.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Thought so at the time. That's Silver State Amusements. It operates in eastern Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and those states were open.
Yeah. There were, just for your information, there were a lot of fairs. We did lose a lot of fairs and festivals. And I love asking the entertainers these questions because all of them had different ideas, and some of them really crashed, and some of them came up with rather unique ways to do things.
Well, that was me. Let's go in a hawk to our eyeballs for a few $1 million more, and let's try this. And then now we're doing both, and it worked. And it worked well, and it was kind of like a breath of fresh air. I don't want to be one of those California haters because, I've lived here most of my life, and I love it, and I'm never going anywhere. But we do some dumb shit out here sometimes.
Yeah, well. So you have good employees, I take it.
I am in the H-2B program. I have a foreign labor workforce because Americans are like unobtainium.
It depends, I think. I think it depends.
We have a labor shortage. Let me straighten you out on this so you know. The boomers all retired last year.
Okay.
That was the biggest cadre of people we ever had. So in comes Gen X, here comes the millennials. They're much smaller groups of people. We just don't have enough workforce in this country. Why there's a help wanted sign hanging in every window, and while your favorite restaurants aren't open on Sundays and Mondays anymore because they can't staff it. And it makes me angry when people go, oh, people are just sitting on their butts getting checks. They are not. They are not. I don't know anybody sitting on their butt. Everybody's working. There's just not enough people now to fill all these jobs.
Well, I happen to be one of those baby boomers.
so me too. So you know what I'm talking about. Like, how many of your friends and relatives and all like that tapped out? Most.
Yeah.
Most. And I like it when the millennials talk shit about us boomers. They're like, okay, boomer, like, you guys, let me tell you what, we're leaving the world a much better place than we found it. That's a fact of life.
So you have, you must have some really good employees because you can't go work all these places yourself, right?
Oh, no. My solid team, I've got a fantastic team.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for them. They're more value to me than any equipment we own. Much more value. I've got some people who've been with me in 20, 25, 28 years.
Oh, that's a long time. How's your mechanics? You got a good mechanical team?
We have a good maintenance team, and we have a good operations team, and I've got a great office team. I'm super blessed. My business manager, she's been with me since 2005.
Wow.
And my social media person since, I don't know, 2011 maybe.
Okay.
And my head maintenance guy's he's been the longest. He's been with me 28 years. So lots of experience, you know.
Okay. How many concessions do you have concessions?
Yeah, we have 12 food concessions, and my food concession manager has been with me since 2005 or 6, and my game concession manager has been here. He's like the newbie. He's been here like 7 years.
Okay. All right. So do you do your own booking?
I do.
Wow, that sounds like a job by itself.
It's the worst job in the company, and that's why I do it, because nobody wants to do this job. We have 2 carnivals working 48 weeks out of the year, so that's at least 80 locations a year I have to book, whether it's a fair or still date, and it is time-consuming.
And then there's the moving stuff. That,
I have a transportation manager. He is good at his job. And then we have the jobs kind of cut up. Like, business manager handles the financial stuff, and then I have a person that does nothing but permitting and licensing, and that's her job full time. And these guys got it. My business manager has worked from home for 10 years. We invented working from home. And my licensing person has been working from home, you know, since the internet was invented. So
that's cool.
That works. So that's helpful, and they like it because, you know, they don't have to sit in traffic, and they get it done at their own pace, and we're all about results, not so interested in the process. They take care of it, and I'm super grateful. I've got a really good team around me. No way I could do this without it. No way.
Oh, I hear you. Okay, so tell me, what shows are you going to be doing this year?
So for fairs, let's see, the California side, we are going to be, what are we doing? We do the Contra Costa County Fair, the Sacramento County Fair, the Yolo County Fair, the Butte County Fair, the Lake County Fair, the Santa Cruz County Fair, the Madera District Fair, the San Joaquin County Fair, the Nevada State Fair. I hope I'm not forgetting. I don't hurt anybody's feelings. You know what I mean?
I understand.
And then we have a list of the Sweet Potato Festival. I'm going to do a lot of festivals and a couple of still dates, and then on the Eastern show. That show's new, but we just signed the Central Wyoming Fair in Casper. I'm super excited about that. That'll be huge. Okay. And we do the Millard County Fair in Delta, Utah, Weber County Fair in Ogden, Orofino Lumberjack Days in Orofino, Idaho, the Nez Perce Fair in Lewiston, the Police Empire Fair in Colfax, and let's see, Curry County Fair in Gold Beach, the Del Norte County Fair, the Siskiyou Golden Fair. There's a list. I mean, and I'm doing this from memory. And then there's, you know, in the spring and sometimes in the fall, we do some still dates that go in between the what we call bona fide date, like a festival or a fair. So we work with, typical property owners or brokers and do, you know, some malls, shopping centers, a couple of fundraisers for some Catholic churches. We get around. Okay. I mean, like, we get around. We stay busy. We don't work year round, but pretty close to it.
So, Harry, do you do your own booking, all your own booking?
I do, every bit of it.
Okay. That sounds like a full-time job.
You know what? It's interesting because it's the 1st of February. I have 2 weeks to fill, and I'm done for 2023.
Okay. All right.
I generally start the week after Halloween, and then that's what I do November, December, and January, and usually have it all wrapped up. So then we can get all the permitting and certificate of insurance ordered and all of that stuff, and then pass that on to my transportation guy so he can start working on logistics and like that.
So I have to ask you, you're getting up there in age too, so what are you planning on doing with all of this? I mean, you can't do it forever.
I can't, and I'm going to do it for a handful of years more, and there's a couple of my team members that are my succession plan.
Okay,
They
sounds
want to do what I
great.
do. They want to buy it from me, and I'm like, you can have it.
You'll miss it.
Just like that. I don't know. I got a pretty big boat. I think I can find distractions. So I really, really like what I do. That's why I'm still at it.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy it. I love what we do. We get to touch 1 million or more people every year in a positive way. Who gets to do that?
Me.
And we get paid to do it. but you understand that feeling, right?
Yeah. And
I
work for it.
we all do. I mean, we got to make a living too. So I'm fortunate. One of the guys that I'm doing what I like to do, and then I'm going to retire, but I'm not going to wait till I'm so old that I can't enjoy my life because I have a long list of shit I want to do when I'm not working anymore. Things like Tonga, Bora Bora, and I want to go to Antarctica, and I want to go to Patagonia. And
wow.
Oddly, as a carnival guy, like I travel for a living, right? And then people go, "What's your hobby?" I'm like, "Well, I like to travel." And so November, December, January, we travel, and we go to Europe, or we go to Japan, or we go to Hawaii, or
wow. I'm impressed.
The deal with my wife is I like Europe. I just there's things about it I like over there. So one winter we spend a month and it's going to be cold, and the next one is warm, and then cold, and then warm, because you can't always go to cold places. And I think my favorite place I've ever been is probably Istanbul. That's probably the only place I've been that I'd like to go back to. I mean, like once you've seen Paris, or once you've seen Rome, or once you've been there and spent a week or whatever, you've done it. That's the only place I've ever been I want to go back to. It was fascinating.
Okay. All right. So do you have any spots open that you still haven't booked yet for this year?
I do have a couple of weeks that I'm scratching around. I don't remember where they are. Sometime in the spring, I've got the Midway Carnival's got a couple of open weeks that we need to fill somewhere here in California, and then some of the stuff we have are still dates. So if an opportunity for a bona fide event comes along, those still dates are flexible because they're just fill-in dates, and so we can move those around to accommodate other fairs.
So do you have a degree?
I do have a master's.
Oh, really? I'm impressed. In what?
Business, of course. Whatever useless degree could you possibly have? That and dollars will get you a halfway decent latte at Starbucks.
I have a biology degree. Okay.
so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then it's like, Has it helped me in my life? No, because all of the shit they learn you even about chasing down venture capital is all theoretical, and in the real world, it don't work like that at all. It's not even close.
Yeah, well,
it's who you know.
I have a solution for all of this. It's called AI, and it's taking over everything. So.
I'm a little concerned about that, and but hey, that's just me. I don't think I want anybody to do my thinking for me or anything.
Yeah, well, that's where we're headed. Okay.
Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be dead before it happens, right? You ever watch Terminator movies?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't Skynet AI? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we should be careful if you think about what was that other really weird movie? Oh my God, 2001: Space Odyssey. I mean, like I watched all that sci-fi shit in the 70s.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So.
Okay, so how do people reach you if they want to reach you?
Usually my number's on the bathroom wall, but the website is brassringamusementsinc.com. And you go there, that's our landing page, and you click on which company you're looking for. There's a contact us thing there. And I'm easy to get a hold of. My phone number is the same phone number I've had since they invented cell phones.
Oh, I don't know what that says about you. Yeah, okay.
I don't know what's the word for it. I'm consistent.
So what's your favorite carnival ride?
Oh, probably the carousel, because that's kind of where my how I got enamored with the industry was riding that old carousel at the boardwalk. Just something magical about it. The lights, the music, the horses,
Yeah, I think it's California. That's what I think it is.
Well, it may very well be. And people that are not in our industry, I think they think we're all related, and we eat corn dogs for breakfast and some weird shit like that. It's so funny. They're like, oh, your kids went all to private school? Like, well, yeah. And everybody went to college. They just don't expect that, I think.
No.
I don't know. It's like, well, no, this is like a regular business,
So now I'm curious too. What exactly do your kids do? I mean, they go to school?
2 of them do. 2 are out, and so and both of them are RNs, and
Ooh.
one works at the emergency. I don't know why she likes it. She works she graduated from Hopkins, and that's where she stayed. She still is an ER nurse at Hopkins.
Oh, that's cool.
And my other one works out here at Sutter.
That's cool.
And the
cool.
two boys, I don't know where they're going. They're like professional students.
Well,
right. Well, the dad's open checkbook, so they'll land somewhere. One of them's going to end up doing something in music, in the music industry.
Okay.
And the other one is probably going to end up doing some sort of engineering.
Mm.
That's kind of where that. Grandkids, too soon to tell.
Well, you did a good job, Harry. It sounds like you did a great job. Sounds like you had a good time.
I did my part, and I have had a good time. The ride has been awesome.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'll get this posted, and so look for it. I'll send you an email.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.